Wave 96.7 FM. This is Chops on the Head Rush. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon, and I have in studio with me Tyke Kakiongo, the technical director of Namibian Squash Division. Tyke, welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me, Chops.
Okay, listen, Tyke, I've been playing a lot of squash in my heyday. I see that squash is moving forward in Namibia. How did the business league go?
Well, yeah, the business league took about 8 weeks of some hardcore squash being played. Most of the match took place at Wanderer Squash Club in Pioneers Park. Went really well. Slightly different format that the guys tried this year.
Okay.
And well, it just turns out that my team actually won the business league.
Thanks for throwing it out there, Tyke.
So I'm really chuffed about that.
Okay, listen. Is it like the old dogs are still playing squash with a lot of young blood coming in? Because the last time I saw, there's a few younger guys, but a lot of the guys look like old dogs, no?
Well, that's true, but it's a mix. You know, there is quite a mix of kind of like your more veteran players like myself, you know, but there are some up and coming youngsters, you know, guys that are in their 20s, and those, if you look at the national ranking and so on, those are the guys that are really on top of the rankings at the moment. Okay. So, and that's the way it should be.
Okay. Right, so I'm going to move away from squash just for a second and talk rugby. Rugby has now got a lot of money pumped into it for the World Cup. They pumped a lot of money. They got a new Phil Davies, the coach, Welsh coach. They got Peter Rousseau in the back.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. Yeah, that's pretty exciting for Namibian rugby. I mean, I love my rugby.
Yeah.
You know, grew up watching it, played it well in primary school and so on. Okay. So it's really exciting to see that.
Now let's go back to squash. Where's the money coming from for squash?
Well, you know, basically, well, if you're in sport, you are basically in the business of sourcing sponsorships. Okay. You know, that's what sustains sports codes. Agreed. Well, we quite fortunate that Trustco Group International, they've been really supporting squash over the past 15 years in the country. And over the past 4 years or so, they really stepped it up. And because of that, Namibian Squash is now a full member, you know, affiliated member of the World Squash Federation, Squash Federation of Africa. And that also allowed us then to host some major events, you know, locally.
We were there last year at the World Junior Squash.
The World Junior Squash Championship, that's right. First time ever that was held on the African continent. So, I mean, that's something that we did, and we're very proud of that.
Do you notice any gaps in development? I mean, it could be money, fine, if it's coaching, but can you identify any gaps, whether it's exposure?
Well, yeah.
More tournaments.
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, those challenges will always be there, you know, and especially for a sports code like squash, where it's very specific when it comes to facilities. And the squash court facilities are not found everywhere, you know, in our communities. We're hoping to address that. Actually, one of the main objectives of hosting the World Juniors last year was so that we can have a legacy plan that kind of rolls out squash development moving forward.
That was like the foundation then of what we would be doing in the next, say, 5 years.
Yeah, kind of like just to kickstart, because we needed to raise the profile of the sport first of all. You know, by hosting a world championship, automatically it gives us a bit of a wow factor. And with that, we were actually very fortunate that the Ministry of Youth and Sport purchased an all-glass squash court facility for us. It's a mobile facility that we really want to utilize to take squash to the people. You know, because it's mobile, we can take it out there and showcase the sport to where communities where maybe squash might not be known yet.
It's like the Namibian Open is happening very soon. Hey, what's the plan on that?
Well, yeah, the Namibian Open is coming up from the 4th to the 6th of September, right here in Windhoek. It's the marquee squash tournament on the Namibian Squash Association's calendar annually. Okay. So it's a big event.
Okay, so we've got some people coming in for this tournament, right? Who the defending champions, are they coming back?
Yes, correct.
All right.
It attracts mainly players from within the SADC region. So we have the defending champions from last year. We got in the ladies category, we have Lauren Siddle. Lauren is actually a British national, but she's based in South Africa. Top player. And then from the men's side, we have Michael Wood, also one of South Africa's really up-and-coming top squash players, and he won the title last year in Walfish Bay.
And there's a Zambian guy, I saw him in the papers, that is going to be coming as well, is it?
That's correct. We also have Zambia's #1 squash player, Kelvin Lovu. Kelvin also he was the runner-up when we hosted the All Africa Squash Championships here in 2013.
Okay.
Top player. From the ladies side, we also have an exciting entry from South Africa's #3 ranked squash player in Chaina Taka, and she's been doing amazing things on the professional squash tour. So yeah, definitely we got some top players coming through.
And which Namibians should we look out for in this tournament? Are there any sort of hot Namibians that are going to be playing as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Especially from the guys' side, there's some young guns coming through. You got the likes of Norbert Dugelo. Although nobody is currently, he's coming out from recovering from an injury, but hopefully he'll be fit and ready to go. We got South African-based Andrew Forrest. Andrew is also doing really well with his squash, playing a lot of league and so on in South Africa. Then the likes of Max Anjala, Max is one of those guys who's also been making major strides with his squash locally. And then there's also Sven Grutemeyer. These are all young guys who can hold their own on a squash court.
And are the ladies making a presence as well on the squash courts?
Yes, definitely. The ladies, although from the ladies' side, we've got the ladies more experience. The likes of Karen Pretorius. Karen was actually runner-up to Lauren last year. She's a top player, has been doing her thing for quite a while now, as well as Isabel Schnur. We've got the likes of Adri Lambert and Nancy Fernandez. These are kind of like our top female squash players in the country, and I'm sure they'll also be out there doing their thing.
Cool, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, tight. Lastly, who, when, where? How can I get to go watch this? It's at Wanderers on the 5th or 6th, is it? And how much does it cost and whatnot?
Well, it's from the 4th. It starts on the Friday, and then all the way up to the Sunday. The finals will be on the Sunday, the 6th. The tournament will be taking place at the traditional courts that we have at Wanderers in Pioneers Park, free of charge. Everybody can come there. We really want to encourage people to come out there and watch what the sport is all about and so on. And then we're putting up the all-glass show court at the UNEM Gymnasium. The idea is just to take it out there, give it a chance to people that might not be that familiar with the sport, but then most of the top matches will actually be taking place on the glass court.
Taika Kayongo, thank you very much for coming in the studio, man. I'll see you next week, Taik.
Cheers, Chops.
Chops on the Head Rush, Radio Wave's hottest DJ.